So here is Redpill.ai. As you can see, this is a private ChatGPT style for having private models be able to process your data in a trusted execution environment, which means you have a private black box for you to utilize these private models. Now, if you click sign in, you can see here that you need to import your encryption keys. So every time that you interact with the chat application, you will need to upload your PEM file in this case. And that will allow you to decrypt your chats so that you can see the chats on Redpill. So just to show you how that looks like whenever you are in here, if say your chats were generated whenever you imported your encryption key, you'll see that these are inaccessible. So I need to import the file so that I can decrypt these chats. But you can see here, this was just like a little sample. Maybe I can go over to like one of my projects where I did not use the encryption key for this chat. You can see that you can visualize these clearly. Now, there's a lot of really cool things that you can do here on Redpill. Like you have a entire knowledge base that you can upload your own personal files so that you can be able to analyze these files and attach them in the case of these different project chats that you have here. So for an example, we can go to here on the criminal defense, and you can see that whenever you're interacting with these models, so in this case, you can actually choose as many models as you want and kind of compare the outputs, or and also you can select from a wide range of private models that we have offered through the Redpill LLM router. Go over to show you how like the encrypted chat would work. So I'm going to import a file. This file will then be imported in to be able to decrypt my chat. So I'll import this key here, and now I can visualize this. If we go over to knowledge, and in the knowledge, I have this folder called legal docs, and the legal doc that I uploaded here was the US versus Hepner here. As you can see, this case, very important. A lot of people in private AI are talking about this, and a lot of lawyers are talking about this. So for me, all right, and then as you can see, US versus Hepner here, the entire ruling on this document. And then next, I will go back for the analysis. I will then hit my chat. I'll attach knowledge, legal docs, and then go to GLM5 model, and I will ask it to please extract some of the key points from this document. And provide a small summary to explain to a non-legal expert what these key points mean. So I'll let that run for a little bit. And what's really cool here that you can see is T verified. So this here is a verification that your model that you're interacting with is actually running in verifiable hardware. So in this case, we have a GPU-T and a CPU-T with Intel TDX. You can view these attestations here. So you can see the nonce, the evidence list, the architecture, and a curl request that you can run in your terminal to be able to get the remote attestation here. You also have the measurement from the Intel TDX CPU-T, which has, you have your quote here. Let me down here. Yep. And you have your quote here. That is a measurement of the GPU-T attestation. Great. So now we can see that it's retrieving a source, which would be our legal docs. Great. So it's starting to think. Cool. It needs to follow the persona I gave it. So I added a system prompt to be able to analyze this document a little bit clearly. And you can see that system prompt here. As it's thinking, we have our source here, like we analyzed earlier. All right, so we're starting to see, based on the core document, here's an analysis of the key points in plain language summary of the ruling. So you get a document type, which is a memorandum in order, court ruling. Court, this is the United States District Court, Southern District of New York, with Judge Jed S. Rakoff. And this was on February 17th. Core issue, whether written exchanges between a defendant and an AI platform, in this case Claude, are protected from government inspection. The court ruled the documents are not protected by attorney-client privilege or the work product doctrine. So if we do a deep dive into these key legal holdings, attorney-client privilege does not apply. The court found that the communication with the AI failed to meet the three required elements for privilege: communication with an attorney, confidentiality, and the purpose of obtaining legal advice. And the key thing at the very beginning you see is communication with an attorney. Claude is not the attorney. So if the attorney were actually interacting with Claude and this was the legal counsel's advice that leveraged Claude, then this whole situation is a lot different, as you can see. But in this case, the ruling is if you're using Claude as a replacement for an attorney in this case, and there's no confidentiality here. But if you're using this platform here with Redpill, you do get that attorney-client privilege because all of this is running in a trusted execution environment, which can also be thought of as a tamper-proof black box that allows you to do interactions with an artificial intelligence without having the concerns that a third party can inject themselves in between and read this encrypted data. Because right now, as you can see, this is decrypted because I provided my encryption key to be able to decrypt the chats. So, and then also, as we just went over on the right side, the verification center, showing that this is end-to-end private. So as it goes through this here, you see the no confidentiality, you see not for legal advice, and you see these direct points that it'll target in the document specifically so that you can also verify where these points were mentioned. So next, I won't go into any more other details, but this is kind of the power that you get with Redpill AI. Now, it's a lot different way of thinking, and currently there are not many players in this market that can match the experience that we have here, where you have encrypted data at rest, encrypted data in transit, and encrypted data in use. And these are three of the most important things that you need whenever you're thinking about private AI, whenever handling private information that cannot be leaked in your chat history. Thank you for watching.